Good morning. I am Roxanne Moran with the Alaska Department of Education and Early Development here in Sitka, Alaska, March 2012 for the Tlingit Clan Conference. I'd like to introduce to you one of the gentlemen here, Eric Hollinger, who is from the Smithsonian Institution, and he's going to share some great technology that's available and helping us with some of the things in Alaska. Eric?
Thank you, Roxanne. Yes, the Smithsonian Institution was invited here by the Clan Conference to share some of the high-tech digital technology that the museum is using to reproduce exhibits and to replicate collections. And the Clan saw this as a good opportunity to scan and document their Clan Crest objects for security against future loss. Here we see laser scanning of a killer whale Clan Crest hat that belongs to the Daklawadi clan. And Adam Matello of the digitization program of the Smithsonian is scanning the hat.
So what we're doing here is we're using a laser scanner to capture millions of XYZ coordinates. Each of these XYZ coordinates are very accurate and can be used to create an online replica of the artifact. We can make physical replicas. And most importantly, we have a very, very accurate, in-depth, in-detail record of the object that can be stored and preserved for the long term. I'll show you how that works. So I didn't do exactly what I...
And you want to say something like, here we see that the data is captured.
Also, maybe you can position it into the position of...
About half of the hat so far. We're looking at raw data here, and later this will be processed into a more polished 3D model. And that model can look photorealistic, and we can create replicas and otherwise archive the data. So here we're photographing the dorsal fin of the killer whale hat that we were scanning earlier. So once we've captured the geometry of an object, the next step is to actually photograph all the different surfaces from all different angles, and then we can use those images to map the color back onto the 3D model that we've captured.
My name's Carolyn Thome. I'm from the Office of Exhibit Central from the Smithsonian Institution, and I'm here to sort of represent the 3D digital output of the scanning and the photogrammetry work that we're doing here. We started with the killer whale hat. It was scanned. The scan data was processed so we could input it into our CNC milling machine, which can mill objects out of wood or other materials. They could do metal or stone. Those are all possibilities once you have the data. And this is our replica that was made of the killer whale hat, made from the original type of wood that the original hat was made out of, which is alder. And it was hand painted by us using photographs that we had taken at the time of the scanning. We also have the ability to, once we capture the data, the 3D data, we're able to do 3D prints, which is a process that lays down a bed of powder, puts down some binder, and in layers it will eventually make a three-dimensional object. And we can also, as you can see, we can also change the scale of objects too. So this is a 3D printed miniature version of the killer whale hat. We also have been working with the Ahuna rattle. This data was taken from a CT scan that was taken of the rattle at the Smithsonian, and this is a 3D print that was produced in our machine, and we were able to capture the interior information also, so we could actually turn it into a rattle. And that was also hand painted. We had the original object at the museum, so we were able to truly match the paint to the original. And we're also 3D printers, though. One advantage of them is that you can actually make working parts. So this is an adjustable wrench that was printed on another type of 3D printer, and it just prints as one object, and it actually works. And that was one of the reasons we chose a rattle, was because of the interior information, and we could have the rattles inside of them.
So the Smithsonian has made this technology available to the Clan Conference so clans can bring forward their Clan Crest objects and have them scanned by the team while we're here in Alaska for 4 days straight during the conference to try to digitally archive the data so that if something ever happens to the object in the future, say it's lost in a fire, then the clan can ask the museum to retrieve that digital data, and it can be used to mill out a completed hat or to make a printed copy that could be used by carvers to make and restore a new one back into service as it should be. Gunuk Sheesh.